More EV news breaking this week, and Canoo is at the front of the headlines. We're going to break into that today. My name is Paul Barron. Welcome back to Tech Path. All right, so you guys know this EV maker, Canoo, probably by their unique design. They're I think one of the most unique designs out there. They kind of have that little minivan look, and then they dropped their pickup not too long ago. Today we're going to dive into this in a market mover. And how market movers work is pretty simple. We pull a couple of stories together. We layer in some sentiment data, sometimes some amplification data, to take a look at how a stock is performing, or how a cryptocurrency is performing, or how a company is performing. Give you guys something to work on in terms of your research, and give you some sources to kind of understand, add some opinion, and hopefully you've got a package there that helps you move you on your way. As a reminder, this is not investment advice. It is just for entertainment purposes and the purpose of education. Our goal here is to make sure that you do your own research and you do your own due diligence on any kind of your investments out there, public or private. So let's jump into it. I want to go over, first of all, to this story here on CNBC, which really was kind of the Investor Day analysis of Canoo. They just recently did this. And really, when you think about where Canoo is going, there's a couple of things here that Tony Aquila is their CEO and chairman, current CEO and chairman. And really, I believe that he is in a damage control position. And I'll talk about this for a minute, but you can kind of see their design. Very innovative design. I remember the video they had with Roy Choi. For some of you guys maybe don't know who Roy Choi is. He's kind of the father of the mobile or food truck phenomenon that started with the Kogi phenomenon in LA. And when you look at where food trucks are going, and potentially ghost kitchens and mobile food delivery, Canoo could be a big player here. And I think maybe that's the direction they need to take, rather than trying to, even though I think the autonomous side of things, which is still many years away, and they are building a new plant as well. And we'll get into all this. There are some good signs here for Canoo, but also some things that have been happening that are not quite as good. Jumping back to the story here, electric vehicle startup Canoo on Thursday sought to assure investors that it had a solid and real business plan following an abrupt change at the company, including the departure of its co-founder and CEO Ulrich Kranz. Now this to me was, and when, I think I might have talked about this on the Apple car video and their connection to BYD. If you haven't had a chance to check that video out, make sure and watch it, because it's a really good analysis on how BYD and Apple are connected and why they needed Ulrich to essentially help them. But the fact that Ulrich Kranz, who is the co-founder and CEO, was CEO of Canoo, leaving Mr. Aquila, is a huge, I think it's a huge issue, because you're dealing with a CEO and founder that's starting to leave, or that is leaving a company. There's only a handful of reasons. One, he's not in on the mission. Maybe there's some internal conflict going on, but he could be not in on the mission, or he is just lost the passion, or he doesn't necessarily see the potential of what that company could do in the future. So speaking at the company's Investor Day, Canoo CEO Chairman Tony Aquila reiterated that many of the company's technological claims, as well as plans to build 3 new EV, including pickups, and 3 other EVs, is really kind of the focus here. He's also provided additional details about its manufacturing plans, including the new U.S. assembly plant. This is the one that's going to be dropped over in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I think in Pryor, Oklahoma, they're going to be putting a new plant out there. So since going public in the SPAC deal in December, shares of Canoo have roughly been cut in half on mainly executive departures. That's been the big reason that many of these share hits have taken place. So changes to his business plan, that's another one, and then greater speculation about the viability of many of their EVs. It appears that Thursday event did little to calm the concerns. So that is my concern here with Canoo. If you are a GOEV investor, there's a couple of things you can do. One is, if you've invested recently, at least you were after, and we'll show some charts here in a minute, but at least you were after the key bump that they had. They've had a couple here with their pickup release and some other things. But if you're an investor right now, here's the thing. If you are okay, if your risk tolerance is okay and you're convicted on EV stocks, I am not an investor in Canoo, but I am an investor in many EV stocks. I've picked the ones that I think are best, at least for my investment portfolio and what I want to do. Obviously, Tesla is my biggest position. When it comes to EV stocks, Apple still remains my biggest position, and what they could be doing in terms of an EV is still up in the air, but most likely they're going to be in the space. Canoo concerns me in the sense that if they don't get a direction moving in the right way, I thought they kind of had it going until Kranz left. And then I felt like, okay, this company has lost its way, the leadership has moved, and that's really a problem. And it is a problem because there is such a huge opportunity for companies like this that could really reinvent how electric vehicles are being utilized in our society. And we've had people on our show like Arcimoto, Aero, which are a lot of these three-wheel, electric vehicles that could be great for the delivery market and potentially for maybe even not necessarily the robotaxi market, which I still think is years away. And that's why I think Canoo's concern or maybe strategy needs to be looking at more of the near term, even though their manufacturing capability is going to be limited. So they're not necessarily going to be able to go out and do major retail like a Tesla and have dealerships and things of that nature without some supply chain and management of how they're going to manufacture those. But they could do deals with delivery companies. And this could be everything from pizza delivery, other restaurant type delivery products. Those could be huge. That's a good opportunity for Canoo, but they haven't been able to really grasp onto it and understand the dynamics of what they need to do, of where this market is growing. And what I'm talking about is food away from restaurants and the amount of data that we're seeing in terms of delivery opportunities. The big challenge there is going to be the drone companies. Another video drop. You got to check out our drone videos on drone delivery because this is a big part of why Canoo could struggle in all of these spaces. The only good light they had, back to a story they did back in March, was their 14% rise on the new electric pickup truck. And again, this comes at a time, back in March, when Tesla was still starting to show some slowness on developing the Cybertruck. So I think Canoo got a benefit from that. The other problem is that Rivian had not really indicated yet that they were going to look at maybe going public, but they're looking at, I think, a new valuation, which usually kind of indicates that we're going to see some public action on that. And plus, Ford had not even dropped the Lightning yet, and that's the Ford F-150. So all of these things coming in on Canoo right now, plus you're losing an executive team, there's some problems here. And I think that this is one of those scenarios that we've just got to watch really closely. I want to jump over to the chart and take a look. This is where they're, just to kind of give you guys an understanding, they had a sentiment of 59.61 on this bubble right here. And this bubble right here was floating in on February the 4th, all the way down to its new low at that time, which was on March 5th. Then they had this nice little climb right here, which was the truck highlight bump. And once they released the truck, it actually performed well in terms of getting that stock back off the floor, and then right back down. So they didn't hold well. And sentiment, though, did climb at that period of time. So there was some hope. Again, this was pre-Kranz leaving Canoo and pre the exodus of their executive team. So it's kind of gone sideways, and then sentiment has fallen to its lowest point of the year at 51.29. And that's in the current action that we're seeing right now with this nice little move right here. Because you got to see here, this goes from a low on May 11th to a high right here of 12, it looks like about $12 right here on June 9th. So, and then you have this little movement right here. But very low sentiment, which means activity is interesting with the action that we're seeing right here. And I'm going to kind of go over here to the action. Let me kind of drag these over to that one. But you can kind of see the volume kind of lifted up a little bit, and then we saw this big move right here. Unless somebody knows something, like maybe what is being prepped with Canoo is they're ready to maybe restock that executive core with somebody that is of amazing talent. If that is the case, if Canoo is on the hunt right now for a new executive team that could lead in this direction, and maybe with a business plan that goes in the direction that I think they need to go, which is going to be on delivery and logistics, that I think has a great opportunity, because I would look at Tesla still not there. They do not, the Cybertruck, I don't necessarily see it as a logistics vehicle, where that Canoo van is a logistics vehicle, 100%. The ability for them to do something with Amazon and really kind of go to the next level, I kind of anticipate there's going to be some logistic plays that they could put in place. Now, does Tony have something up his sleeve right now that maybe a few people know about? When you look at this little last bump that we saw from a low at $9 a share to where he drove it to $11.42, and a little bit of wobbling here, so it's still hovering in around the $10 share price. I think Canoo's got a little magic up their sleeve. I think they're on to something now. They've figured out, they're mainly trying to calm their investors, keep them at a position to stay with the mission. I think they've taken a full front of what they can, frontal in terms of the assault on both the stock price. I know they are not worried about the day traders, which is, people say that, but the fact is it does move the stock. And I think that Tony is very passionate about this company. That's the one thing I think that will change the direction and course of Canoo. If Tony takes the reins, really comes in and puts together a rock star team around him, we may be talking about Canoo in a different way. Right now, I am putting this on definitely a sell. If you were purchasing in the recent weeks, I don't know that I would ride this one out. If you purchased it way up here, back in March, and I forbid that you got back in February, but if you did, hopefully you're not still in there. But if you are, kudos to you. Maybe you believe in what their company is doing. But at this point, this is definitely a sell for me. I don't have a lot of faith in this evolution of where Canoo is going until they show me something different. And it's up to Tony to do that. So Tony, you're welcome on this show. Come out here. Tell us what Canoo has in plan and in store, especially around the executive team, because I think that's going to be the key with developing the business plan going forward. And that's what they need, is the business plan going forward. A lot of companies have kind of given the direction. You look at Rivian, they're definitely after the outdoor business. Tesla, we kind of understand their business. They just want to dominate the world. You have BYD, NIO, all these other guys that have the right kind. And then if you look at Neuro, which has gone fully autonomous and going into delivery, which I think is probably the competitor here for Canoo, if they flip to autonomy and delivery and logistics, which I think really, come on Canoo, that's the play. That's the play you've got to make. I don't necessarily see this as a weekender vehicle for the future. There's too many products on the market that are going to blow past this in a very short time. All right, so if you like these market movers, from time to time we do these. We'd like to put as much out there as we can. If you're listening in over the podcast, make sure and subscribe. If you're here on the YouTube channel, hit the like button and share this video. It's the #1 way you can help the channel. We are on our track to 100,000 subs here on TechPath and the Paul Barron Network. And it's thanks to you guys. You guys are the ones that really have made this a reality for us on really kind of getting a breakout channel going here on tech. And we've been able to do some very interesting things, and a lot of things are coming down the pipe for this show and many others. Stay tuned here. We got some surprises for you coming next week with some new material and some new people coming into the TechPath family. Make sure if you have an idea for a show, send it to us, which is just producer@reverendnetworks.com, or hit me up on Twitter @PaulBarron. We'll catch you next time right here on TechPath.